What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Wolf Gets Wrecked. Today we're going to be using the Parish Trap team that I built last time in front of you guys that you guys requested, and yeah, we're just going to go ahead and give it a shot. For those of you who aren't especially familiar with the team, who maybe didn't watch the last video, you're going to see, as you can see on your screen, it's Smeargle, Xerneas, Raichu, Kyogre, Landorus, T, and Gengar, with the team having two primary modes, one being Gengar, as the upfront going for Perish Song, the other being Xerneas. And as you can see, this is more of a hybrid Perish Song team, so it doesn't look as obviously Perish Song. Perish Song probably isn't expected here, which is definitely really cool. I'm excited to try that out. With one of the main objectives here is to pick up some KOs really quickly. Just go ahead and use surprise moves on Gengar, or take advantage of Kyogre's high power, or Landorus's Choice Band, or Xerneas' ability to sweep. Take 2 KOs or even 1 KO sometimes quickly, and then just use Perish Song and wait out the rest of the game. So yeah, we're looking for an opponent, but oh, cool. So we've got an opponent from Japan, 1779. That's pretty high. Where you can see we're only at 1677, so I'm cool with that. And you can see this is actually Big 6, so that's really interesting. And versus Big 6, the matchup isn't. I'm not super sold in the matchup. We're gonna go ahead and use Gengar here up front. We need to find a way around that Xerneas. That's a big threat. I'm sorry, and around that Smeargle as well. So honestly, I'm really tempted to bring my own Smeargle here because Gengar. Okay, so Gengar puts on a lot of pressure on Xerneas, and it actually puts a lot of pressure on Groudon as well. I think I want Landorus in this game. Xerneas is also really solid. I need to think about who I'm going to leave in the bench. Kyogre. Okay, so Kyogre is definitely coming to this game. There's no doubt about that. And so I need to think about how I'm going to get around his Smeargle. That's, I think, the main concern right now. And yes, I think with that in mind, I want Landorus up front with Kyogre definitely in back. I want Landorus because it outspeeds Smeargle. It gives me another option. I can Earthquake versus Xerneas. And I need to choose about whether I want Xerneas or Raichu in the back. I don't think I want Smeargle in the back here because it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I think because he has Salamence, I'm going to go ahead and bring Xerneas here. And with that in mind, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and hit confirm and jump right into it. So he's selected his moves. He knows what he wants here. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and see if we can pull this one off. So, also, fun fact, so I've misplaced my DS charger, so we're just going to hope that I have enough battery to get through this episode because I can't find it, and I just got back from spring break, so I might have left it at home. Yes, so you can see Gengar and Landorus, thanks to Flash for the mons. That's Talonflame and Kangaskhan, so that's really interesting. And actually, this is a situation in which I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and Mega Evolve Perish Song here and try to wait him out, because both this Pokemon are at -1, and Kangaskhan can't touch Gengar, and I have a free switch out. So I'm going to go ahead and Mega Evolve Perish Song and affect the whole field, and going to go ahead and switch back into my Xerneas. I want to preserve my Kyogre for now. I want to get Landorus out because I want to recycle that Intimidate. And if I had to guess, this is probably Fake Out and hopefully Tailwind onto from my opponent's side of the field, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. He could definitely attack with his Talonflame. He could taunt, but I don't think it's especially likely because Gengar here I think has better options than to. It's unexpected. It's unorthodox that I would Perish Song here, so I wouldn't expect a taunt. But he could also totally switch into his Groudon and Flare Blitz my Gengar, and that would be bad. But we're going to see what happens. Landorus, as you can see, is switching out. Xerneas is in, going to activate that Fairy Aura, which probably doesn't make much of a difference unless Talonflame is using natural gift with Fairy type Fairy. But we see that that actually he doesn't switch out. So I think what's important to note here, something that I actually totally forgot about, is that Kangaskhan can have Scrappy and often used to have Scrappy. So it could have been Scrappy Kangaskhan, but at the moment the more common Kangaskhan variant is Inner Focus. So that's why I felt pretty safe just attacking with Gengar. So hopefully Gengar makes it this turn. As you can see, Fake Out is coming out onto Xerneas or Talonflame, but it actually turns out to be Xerneas, believe it or not. It does a bit of damage, not a ton. And Talonflame goes for Tailwind. So that was the perfect turn from my perspective. I'm really happy to see that. I like seeing opposing Tailwind, and as you can see, Perish Song is going off, so Tailwind now has 3 turns, and Perish Song, Tailwind has effectively 3 turns, and Perish Song does have 3 turns. So now I need to think about how I want my Gengar to, in order to win this game, I'm going to need my Gengar to make it through. So I'm going to go ahead and protect with both my Pokemon here. I could switch in Landorus, but I think what's likely is that I end up eating a normal type attack with Xerneas, and so because of that, I don't actually want to go ahead and switch in Landorus and protect here because I won't be able to survive another normal type attack. So I'm going to protect with both. It's a pretty simple move from my end, and yeah, just go ahead and see what happens. This will be a good opportunity because we'll be able to see if that Kangaskhan carries a move that can hit Gengar other than Sucker Punch, or a move that can hit Gengar at all if I don't attack. So Brave Bird comes out into Xerneas and Frustration. Okay, so I'm actually really happy to see Frustration here and not the more common double edge, because it means that it's actually going to do less damage here. So Gengar, there's 2 turns of Perish Song left, so I don't see any reason actually at all not to protect here, because okay, so my options are protect, attack, or Perish Song. There's no reason to Perish Song unless I want to not take Sucker Punch damage, and to ensure I have the highest probability of making it through the turn, I'm going to actually protect here, because I don't need to protect next turn, because I'm going to want to switch out. And we're going to go ahead and bring Landorus back in here for my Xerneas. Getting the intimidated off again. I think he's gonna want to target down my Gengar here. There's not I think it's definitely pretty likely that he could go after my Protect fails, Brave Bird comes out. I'm sorry, he could go after my Xerneas with both, or now my Landorus with both, but I think Gengar's a bigger threat. So yeah, Brave Bird comes out. It's not going to do a ton of damage, thankfully. It actually does almost nothing. And we're hoping to see a Sucker Punch, but Frustration is more probable. So okay, he goes for the Power Up Punch. That's really interesting. I'm not sure exactly what he was predicting there, but whatever it was, I don't know, it didn't actually end up paying out. So I'm going to get Xerneas back in here, because basically when these two go down, Tailwind will go down next turn, and it will ensure that my Gengar has the speed advantage unless he has Choice Scarf's Miracle in the back. But I think what he has in the back is more likely something along the lines of Groudon and probably the Xerneas, because we know he probably doesn't have Salamence. So with that in mind, I know that my Landorus is slower than these two, because rip. So he rage quit. So sorry about that, guys. This is a good game. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, I guess he didn't like facing Perish Song. So I actually don't have a ton of time, but I think because that game ended quickly, I have a time for another match. But yeah, you can see that was a really solid game for Perish Song. I wasn't actually expecting to use the Perish Song mode so quickly, because you know I kind of expected to play it more as like a late game kind of thing, but yeah, we take those. We definitely take those. So that's a good, solid Game 1 win. And our ranking hasn't, for those of you who don't know, your ranking doesn't update if they disconnect immediately. You need like another game before it will actually work. So gonna go ahead and look for another battle. 1592 Celias Lefenivhisijin from Alabama, which is in the United States of America. So this is actually a matchup I was really afraid of. He's got Kyogre, and he also has Intimidate and Redirection. So I need to think about this one. I'm tempted to go for Xerneas because I don't have a lot of better options, to be honest, but it's going to be difficult to set up Xerneas. Let's think about this. Perish Trap isn't going to be super solid, but Gengar threatening Togekiss is good. Gengar being threatened by Kyogre, and really not Kyogre, but Kyogre and Mawile is bad. So I think I definitely like Raichu here. So the question is, do I want to go Xerneas mode, or do I want to go I don't necessarily need Raichu in front, though. I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and say, okay, like, we're going to risk it for the biscuit and go very, very heavy setup on the Xerneas, and just hope that it pays out. And so I need to think about who I want my last Pokemon to be. He's going to have speed advantage most likely because of that Tailwind, and because a lot of this. He's got 2 potential Tailwind Pokemon, and he just has a lot of fast Pokemon, so I really want Landorus here, but I think I'm actually going to bring Kyogre. Landorus is definitely a comfort Pokemon for me, but I think in this situation, I'm saying this is the game where I need to set up Xerneas. Like, it's Xerneas or bust, basically. And if he fails to lead appropriate counters to Togekiss, to Smeargle, that would be great, but I don't think it's likely. I think this is probably Mienshao and something scary up front, and then we have to think about Feint, which is pretty scary, but, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So yeah, Mienshao and Mawile, which is actually not... Okay, so this is unfortunate for a number of reasons, but primarily because I can make a hard read here and go Dark Void Protect. Dark Void Geomancy and assume he's going to Feint me here. But if he goes Fake Out and Iron Head, I just lose right away. So I think what I'm actually going to do here is go Dark Void and Protect, because that covers both my options. He can Fake Out, like in the worst case I lose my Smeargle, but that still lets me get Raichu in for free, and then I can try and set up Geomancy and go from there. This is pretty risky and it probably won't pay off, but I think this is like, I don't know, it's hard to play against Pokemon that have Feint. So, yeah, gonna go ahead and Protect here. The fact that he has like a lower ranking makes me a little scared, to be honest, because it seems more likely that he would just attack with like Fake Out, but we'll see. So Protect's coming out in Xerneas. Let's go ahead and see if Mienshao goes for the Feint. Mienshao goes Fake Out. 50 Shades of Rip. That was the worst possible scenario. I hope he KOs me. Okay, that was terrible. I hope this is a speed boost, otherwise we're in deep trouble. That's so stupid. Smeargle is so stupid. Hey, we take those. Yeah, okay, we totally take those. Sorry, pal. Well, not sorry yet, because let's go ahead and see if Let's go ahead and see if Dark Void connects. So Mawwile's protecting, so this is interesting. I hope this isn't Lum Mienshao, because that would be bad. Though the real thing is, like, I just need to make sure that... Okay, you know, honestly, I'm going to go ahead and just come right out and say it. I deserve that and more. Yes, so that's okay. This game definitely is not, I don't even know, like, it's not going the way I expected it to, but I actually think even though Smeargle went down there, I think it's actually, like, a pretty beneficial turn for us, because we get Xerneas boosted for free, which is pretty important, but more importantly, or equally as important now, not only are we starting to threaten things, but we also have Raichu in the back, and Raichu being able to come in here, and I changed Raichu's item to Air Balloon, so you're about to see that, because I didn't think Zap Plate was very good, which is what I originally had. So Air Balloon in here, but I can actually, it's nice because I can go for the, so I could go for the Fake Out here, but I think I'm actually going to go for the Encore, because, I don't know. Because that leaves Raichu free if he switches out from next turn to, like, I can ignore Mawile if this Encore connects. So, Wide Guard comes out. That was a solid move from my opponent. I forgot that Mienshao could do that, but it doesn't, like, this is a situation in which I'm glad I used Encore, because yes, now, like, it's still, I still think the advantage is on my side here. So, but the fact that the Mienshao reveals the Wide Guard is pretty problematic. So I'm actually, I didn't PP max my Mons. I'm gonna Volt Tackle and Moonblast in this Mienshao slot. I kind of forgot my speed tiers, and I don't use Raichu enough to know, but I think Raichu outspeeds Mienshao. So hopefully this picks up the KO. Mawile's coming out. Maybe I should have targeted that slot. I thought it was pretty risky though, and it should be Talonflame. Okay, so that's fine. What we need to be aware of now, we've seen 3 of his Mons, so we don't know, like, now we can say he doesn't have both restricted Pokemon, and oh, that would have been so nice if it hadn't been Sash, because I would have hit the Talonflame with the Volt Tackle. But fun fact, we're about to learn if Volt Tackle breaks Air Balloon. I don't think it does, but it's definitely a possibility. So Volt Tackle is going to do that 1 damage, should take about 1 recoil, and let's see if Air Balloon pops. It doesn't really matter this game. It doesn't, so I didn't think it did. That would be really dumb if it did. But yeah, so now I think my opponent's actually in a pretty solid position, because he's got his Mawile back in. He can go for whatever he wants. But because I have Kyogre in the back, I'm going to go ahead and do Protect and Volt Tackle. Got to get rid of this Talonflame. I don't know if Moonblast plus Volt Tackle KOs. It might, but I need Talonflame gone for sure. So going to go ahead and Protect. Hope that he could double into my Raichu. That'd be really good for him. But he doesn't. He goes for Tailwind. So that is interesting. It depends a lot on what his last Mon is. Raichu's going to go ahead and pick up, hopefully, the KO here. Let's see if my opponent reads this like a book. Volt Tackle, that didn't go down as fast as I thought it would, so maybe it's a roll, but Volt Tackle picks up the KO on Talonflame, and now, even though we're up 3-2, well, let's see at the end of this turn. Even though we're up in Mons, his positioning is a lot stronger. If I can take a KO here, okay, so it's Rayquaza, so that is pretty scary, my friend. So let's think this one through. I can get Kyogre in here, and more importantly, reuse the Fake Out if I want to play some. When that Rayquaza, his Rayquaza cannot Mega Evolve. I think that's important to note. It could be Sash. Whew, that's rough. That's rough, boys. I'm gonna double Mawile. I'm gonna double Mawile with the hopes that he protects his Rayquaza this turn and goes Protect, and if he E-speeds, no, I lose. You know what? That sucks. There's no good moves. Out of time. Going to hope that he E-speeds my Raichu and going for Dazzling Gleam. Get a little bit of chip damage onto that Mawile, and yeah, gonna go ahead and try and win the game from here. It would be nice if I knew if he had Focus Sash, and because his other Pokemon, Togekiss, Talonflame, like none of those Pokemon need to hold, like they don't hold Focus Sash very often unless it's like a weird Talonflame build. So that complicates things. And yeah, my weather is up, but it doesn't really matter in this situation, except that my water attacks will do less damage because of the fact that Airlock is up. So Rayquaza's Extreme Speed, okay. If this is Life Orb, it's going to be very good for us. Excellent. So I'm not sure. My Xerneas will outspeed because I'm boosted. So I think that's actually going to clean up the game for us. I was really close to doubling into his Mawile with Moonblast and Volt Tackle, and if that had happened, I would have lost for sure. So really glad to see that this paid off. Now I'm in a situation where I get Raichu in. I think I have. I forgot. I haven't been keeping track. Tailwind goes up. I KO Talonflame. Rayquaza comes in. This is turn 3. So we have, even though we do have, this isn't the last turn. So I can't go Fake Out Scald and then follow it up with Air Balloon. I mean, with Encore. But regardless, Fake Out Scald here is my best move. And I can protect next turn and then go I don't know my speed tiers. My speed, I do know my speed, but I don't expect that Maul Oil's faster. It would actually need like close to max speed. But just to be safe, we're gonna go ahead and use Protect and Encore. Either way, we should be coming out on top here, but just to be safe, I think Protected Encore is our best bet. He can Sucker Punch and lock himself into Sucker Punch, and if he does, if this was a real match, I would actually, if he went for Sucker Punch here, okay, so that'll seal up the game. But if he'd gone for Sucker Punch here, I actually would have taken him to Timer, because I would have Encored it to Timer and then just like protect until the game is over. So yeah, he's gonna protect here, and I'll just go Scald and Fake Out, because you gotta protect those just in case. Gotta use Fake Out, so Fake Out coming out here, made the read, predicted that predict, went for the Fake Out. So this is like classic disrespect, just like messing around. So yeah, we're gonna go instead. We're gonna see if he gets the double protect here, but either way, this game should be pretty much over. So Maul goes for Protect, it fails. I shouldn't have Fake Outed here. That was a good. I wasn't thinking, but I think Scald should pick up the KO. I'd be really surprised if it didn't. So yeah, good game. That's one quick win for Perish Trap, and another slower win without the Perish Trap mode. But yeah, this is really cool. This team feels like surprisingly a lot better to use than I would have like expected, given the fact that the initial basis was Perish Trap. But nonetheless, this is pretty cool. So if you guys like what you saw here, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe. If you have, I'm kind of thinking I'm thinking of doing something along the lines of like fan favorite Friday. So like if you guys like, because like it's cool to build teams with like a theme. Like this team is Perish Trap, obviously, but we can do like specific mons or other strategies you guys are interested in. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, make sure to mention it in the comments, because I'm like really undecided on that, because I don't want to just build around like dumb stuff, but I do think it's cool to like build teams. If you have any questions, comments are a good place to leave them. And yeah, I hope I find my charger, because otherwise this might be the end of my YouTube career. We're still in blue, so that's good. So maybe we can get one more episode out of this DS. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.